7:30.
It is 7:30. We do have a quorum. Andy, if you'll read the statement of open meeting law.
I, the undersigned clerk of the Board of Education, Winoka School District I-3 of Woods County, Oklahoma, do hereby certify that prior to December the 15th of the last calendar year, that the date, time, and place of this regularly scheduled meeting was filed in the office of County Clerk of Woods County, Oklahoma. If any change has been made of the date, time, or place of this regularly scheduled meeting, prior proper notice in writing has been given to the county clerk as required by law no less than 10 days to the implementation of said change. I also certify that at least 24 hours prior to the meeting, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, if the date, time, and place of this agenda of this meeting was posted in prominent public view of this at the location of this meeting. Witness my hand and seal the of this school district this 2nd day of May 2016.
Rick?
Here.
Clint?
Here.
Don?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
I'm here. Visitors' comments?
No visitor comments.
Number 5, all the following items will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items A through H.
Okay, I'll just make a few comments on as far as collections go. I haven't heard anything on the Atlas money from the ad valorem reimbursement. So we haven't got any of that, and it's about time for me to start hearing something on that if it's going to be on time. I know the last 2 years it's been on time, and we've got what we're supposed to get. So that's one of those things that I don't think anybody knows until it starts showing up. As far as expenditures, we're about $300,000 ahead of what we were last year. But when I go through and look at some one-time money that we've spent, it's really even more than that. So we're really in good shape as far as expenditures compared to the last 2 years. And I've told you, and everybody's got it figured out that we're going to be down some in gross production, but it's still going to be a pretty good amount, and should be over $600,000 again if the next 2 checks come in like they've been coming in. As far as anything else financially, it'll be a big deal if we don't get it won't affect anything that we're doing this year, or wouldn't make me do anything different. But we've been getting that ad valorem money in before been able to put it on the current year's finances, and hopefully it'll do the same thing. If not, I'm pretty sure we'll get it at the start of next year, which it would show a decrease in carryover, but the money's going to be there.
Apparently, we went ahead and bought some hall lockers.
Yes, we haven't
I know we
actually ordered
talked
them,
about it,
but
but-
I've got the quote and everything. I know what the quote is, and I will order hall lockers.
So that's just the encumbrance. So she's just
Yes,
encumbered.
yes.
Did you end up going with those hard plastic ones? Or
No, I just went with the metal.
The metal.
Lockers, yeah. The plastic ones were about 3 times higher than the metal lockers. So.
Wonder if another school would be interested.
We'll probably in June we'll put those on a list and see, but I bet we sell them for scrap. I don't know why another school would want them. They're a problem, and you're gonna have to take them apart and put them back together, so then you're gonna have more problems.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So are you buying all new band uniforms or what?
Yes. Well, those are marching uniforms, and you have to get them in the least you can get where it doesn't even cost you more than that is $40, and for about $1,500, $2,000 more, you can get 50. So we can order some real little ones and some real big ones, and we will have 30 some kids in band next year. So we were going to do 40, but for you know, for 50 or $2,000 more, so we're ordering the 50. And I told her to make sure we had a size for everybody, because there's nothing worse than seeing some little kid out there in a band uniform 2 times too big or 2 times too little.
Anybody else have any more questions?
I move we approve the consent
I'll
agenda.
second.
Rick, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Other reports, superintendent?
Okay, we got a letter last week about, we didn't, do the maintenance of efforts for special ed, which means whatever I spend for special ed, which is flow-through money that goes to the co-op, or, you know, basically my salaries of my teachers here and whatever we spend in special ed, from year to year, it has to stay the same, or you get penalized for what you didn't spend, forcing you to basically spend what you've spent in the past, or telling them a reason why. They don't want you trying to save money by not spending money on special ed. That's a federal thing. Our maintenance of effort wasn't enough this year, but the reason is because Ms. Crisip went on halftime, and so I've got it already. Pretty much that takes care of it, and so I have to send in a report. But I've got a lady's name that I will work with on that, and there shouldn't be a penalty. I should get that taken care of, and then next year it will happen again to me because we're getting out of co-op, and I send $60,000 a year flow-through money to the co-op that I won't send next year. So I'm going to get hit with the same thing. But again, the way I understand it from the co-op meetings we went to, that will be a reason for me not having to maintain that maintenance of effort, because the program dissolved, and I can't do anything about that.
Do you have any preschool age kids that are going up there now?
No.
So we don't
And
have
I was,
anybody.
my biggest concern was speech for the little kids under kindergarten and my testing. And I've had 3 psychometrists, as soon as they heard it, mail me stuff that said they would be my psychometrist if I needed them to test. And one of the ladies was one that we've already been using. You know, she's just not in the co-op now. And then Christy, who does our speech from basically first grade up right now, I talked to her as soon as it was going to happen, and she told me that she would take care of me on speech. If I had like a 3-year-old or 4 or 5-year-old, she would take care of that. So we should be covered on the things that I'm going to have to take care of. Now, again, if I've talked, I don't know, but you know, my concern would be if I got a severely handicapped person come in, you know, because not being in the co-op, that's why you're in the co-op. But you know, we have a couple of options, and if not, we'll explore that. You know, you can't hire somebody to sit here and wait on that, but when it happens, we'll
Yeah,
take
if
care
you
of it.
need physical therapy or something like that.
Well, I mean, if you have severe, you might have
Yeah.
you might have to have a person for that person.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but again, I think I've got a couple of things that might work if that happened to me.
So they are dissolving completely.
Dissolving completely, yes. Alva got out of it because they had so many kids, they could just use the teachers full-time
Mhm.
and not have to share. And then when they did that, we really didn't, the people in the co-op really didn't want to be a part of the co-op with Woodward, because Woodward was getting most of the services. And so when Alva got out, basically, Visai and Leedy and Laverne said, we don't want it in anymore. And I said, you know, you guys aren't in it, I'm not in it. You know, there's no way I can support the thing with, you know, I'm not sending all my money to Woodward. So we'll do the same thing. So basically everybody just said once Alva got out of it, it wasn't financially good for us to do that anymore. So we're out of the co-op. We have finished an audit by the Child Nutrition did an on-site audit, and they finished that up a couple of weeks ago. And we had 2 or 3 minor things that we had to fix. You know, nothing that is going to cost us any money. Nothing that I don't know. That I would call a major area that we weren't doing right. You know, most of the stuff is just 2 or 3 little things that we didn't even know we need to be doing. They come and do the audit, told us to start doing these, and I'll write up a little deal when she sends me the final report, which I haven't got it yet, but she'll send it, and it'll have those 3 things on there, and I'll just write a response, and I've already talked to her about the response the day she was in my office going over the audit, so that's pretty much taken care of. The State Department was in here doing an audit on our testing, and I haven't heard anything from them. When they left, there wasn't any red flags, or they didn't say anything to us as far as I know. So again, they'll send me a report. If there's anything on there, I'll make note how we're going to fix it. This week we've got FCCLA reward reception Tuesday night at 7. The Tri-State Music Festival is Wednesday in Enid, and we're taking a bunch of kids from fifth grade up to that. If you came to the band, I don't know what you call it, band thing that they had at the other night, concert, it was they did a good job. It's kind of amazes me what some of our little kids can do. I mean, you can listen to it, you understand what they're doing, and I'm not a music person by any stretch of imagination, but I'm pretty impressed with what our kids can do. And the competitions that they went to this year, a lot of our kids really did well, bringing home superiors and excellence about everything they did. So they're doing a good job out there, and a lot of kids in it. Friday and Saturday state track meet. We've got Terrence Crosland and Karen Olson running in that. They'll run Friday, and I guess they win or do high enough, then they come back Saturday for the finals. We've been going over the custodians and I have been talking about some of the summer things. We're going to do it sounds like a little thing, but it's a big deal. We're going to clean it, and we have to inspect every bus, but we're going to clean and inspect each bus. We're going to paint some classrooms out in the north building and do some cleanup maintenance there that we did here in this building last year. Going to remove the old tin from the ag building and replace that, and we've got to replace some tiles and do some painting in the elementary bathrooms. That's 4 things that we know right now. That and again, I've talked to them one day last week, talked to them both this morning, and they're supposed to be running around making sure there's not some other big things that we need to be aware of, and getting me a list of anything we're going to need, so we'll have that ready. And after the last day of school, we'll be ready to start jumping on those things. Again, I made comment, gross production is going to be real close to what it was last year, or 2 years ago. Now last year we did real well. It won't reach that, no way, but financially sound with what we've got in our area. Any questions? Mr. Mayweather.
Just to add to, events coming, we have our flag May 14th. Kids are probably coming around and selling tickets for that. So, if you're wanting one and nobody's come to see you, call the school and make sure you get a ticket for that. So, or if you want one, let me know and I'll make sure you get one. So, provide a meal and entertainment. Still in testing, got a whole nother full week of testing here and started next week, so we're still right in the middle of it. Our high school English scores, we've done that today compared to last year. Our scores are way good, so far testing has been going real well in all the classes, so that's another positive thing for our school. And like Mr. Tackett said, the State Department did come out to review our testing. I took them around to some classes. Probably visited with them for over an hour and a half on how we do things and why we do them. So when they left, they said there was nothing that they were concerned with. So, of course, like Mr. Tackett said, they were going to write a report and then get that to us. But they said on the way out that they had zero concerns.
No computer or internet glitches with the
No.
testing this year?
No, we're still going.
You know, we hadn't even heard about that statewide this year like we've had in the
Last
so,
year was terrible. You heard it
So
all
I
the
don't know
time,
if
so.
people just gave up or they got something fixed or better, but we even heard that as a, you know, as administrators or as a group in places. And last year it was a big, big problem.
Yeah. Okay, anybody have any other more questions? No? Number 7, vote to approve or not to approve the agreement with Alcohol and Drug Testing Inc. for bus drivers' alcohol and drug testing for 2016-17 school year.
So move.
Do we have a
Second.
second? Clint, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 8, vote to approve or not to approve the agreement with Alcohol and Drug Testing Inc. for the student extracurricular activity, alcohol and drug testing for the 2016-17 school year.
I'll move.
Second.
Don?
Yes.
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 Consideration and possible action to approve the provided list of items as surplus and designate items for disposal.
I'll move we approve the list provided.
Second.
8. Andy?
Yes.
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 You have to tell your dad about that. Vote to approve or not to approve the proposed 2016-17 school calendar.
I like number 4.
That's what I like.
You've got, yeah, well, you've got 4 of them there and
How come we keep cutting the days of school down?
well, we're on 1080 and we were what? Was it 19?
19 over this year.
19 over this year, and we'll still be 12 over.
12 over, what's the total day count we're gonna have this year?
Well, depending on the calendar.
No, this year.
No, this
This-
year.
this-
Oh,
board.
175.
Okay. And you haven't got 175 on any of these.
I think I've got 171 on one.
Yeah, 171 on one.
172.
172.
I thought that's why when we went into this hourly deal that we was gonna try to maintain our days.
We can. I just threw these out there. If we don't like these calendars, then we can sure do that.
Well, I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but if we start a trend to keep cutting the days down, we're gonna be down to 1,086 hours or whatever it is, and I still don't think that's what we need to do.
Yeah, well, we're not getting down to, like Mr. Tackett said, we're still 12 days over.
Right, but next year.
And I want to make sure the 12 days that we're over, we'll take care of snow days
Mhm.
or anything. Or if we got into a problem, those are still called activity days that we could use any of those Fridays if we need to. Other schools, here's part of the deal, and I'm not saying we're other schools and we're not financially strapped like everybody else is. A lot of schools are going 4-day week all year. Yeah. I feel like where we are academically, and one reason I've always started early, and I've had complaints about that from Career Tech and other schools, is because I try to get in as many days as I can before testing. The only difference between 2 and 4 compared to this year would be the days in January where we're taking off those Fridays, and probably 2 in February. So there's my 7 days, I guess you would say, is right through there. I've been in this business a long time. If our school, in my mind, wasn't where it was at right now, I'd be scared to do it. I can't say that it doesn't bother me a little bit, because it's like getting something ready, getting my team academically ready for success. I'm taking 7 days off that. But I also know that when somebody comes to our school, they're a semester behind. And that's the truth. So academically, I feel like we're at a point that we can do this if we wish, and it could always change back.
Well, that's my concern. If we start taking that trend backwards, how it gets harder to come back. And when you start trying to just barely beat the minimum, you get in trouble.
Well, the start date of the 11th is pretty early already. I mean, really what you're talking about is the Fridays,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, starting the Fridays earlier.
The Fridays and the Christmas break.
But the Christmas break time just sets up that way because of
The
Wait,
calendars
Paul.
2 and 4, they're
11 days for Christmas.
the really short ones. 2, Christmas break is on the 20th, I believe.
On number 2, yeah.
it starts
And you
tonight.
pick up 2 more days right there. And there's 160, what,
8.
68
That's
the only-
days on
that's the only
that. So
difference.
you're not cutting as many days. That 19th and 20th, there, most of the kids won't be at school anyway if they don't miss over 3 days. But it doesn't bother me going those 2 days. Or if you're not happy with that, you can just say, let's amend it and we can do it like the Fridays in January.
Well, the number 4, you got 2 full weeks out for Christmas.
Yes, that's the difference in 4 and
And that's,
2.
Because you're talking here
well,
that most kids aren't gonna go those 2 days.
Yeah, so you're talking 12 days.
And a lot of days.
right, that's a lot of days
I'd
out.
rather do
So amend that where you go the 19th and 20th.
Would be the
Well,
same.
I'm saying
It'd be number
number 2.
2. And it's the same calendar.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
That's the only difference in 2 and 4.
If you've got a problem with the Fridays in January, we can fix that.
I don't know.
I'd rather-
When did we start this year? The
Here's the
third
thing,
week in
let me
February?
tell you why some of this comes about too, just so you kind of understand. When you get into basketball and you get into ag and those kind of things, a lot of those things are on Fridays. And tournaments, you're in tournaments in
That's right.
January, February, and it kind of saves an activity day there. I mean, a day of school that they can go, that you don't have to take off, but I mean, it's not gonna hurt me if you say, hey, just don't do the deals in January. I mean, I'm just giving you guys something else to look at there.
I don't mind calendar 2 at all. I'm fine with 2 or 4.
Yeah, I am
Mindy, Rick?
I don't think it's used, but,
I can go along with number 2, but I don't like it. Start cutting days out.
Okay.
Well, and I talked to you about this earlier, my biggest deal is we've called those activity days and then so many of them aren't using those. They are scheduling things on other days and not the Friday. And I would hope that we would encourage, especially some of these deals where they're gone 2 or 3 days, to schedule them on Fridays as much as we can.
Well, I talked to Mr. Merriweather, I know that the softball and baseball played on 2 or 3 different Fridays this
Mhm,
year.
Yeah.
And like, when I had the girls in basketball, I didn't do a very good job coaching, so we were playing at 11 o'clock, on 3 different Fridays, so, we weren't in school on those, especially those,
Fridays.
January ones. Instead of me missing, those girls missed Thursday and Friday. And, went 11 o'clock Saturday. It would have just been basically missing Thursday, so. And then if you don't have, then you got better crowds because you've got teachers and stuff that can come to those ball games, so.
if you're wanting to take 2 Fridays off there in January, I'd take the 2 middle ones off because we'll be in a tournament probably that first week. So if you wanted to add 2 days there, you could. It's not gonna matter to me one bit.
I'd just like to approve it as is. I'm okay with that.
Somebody make a motion to approve number 2?
I'll make a motion to
I'll
approve
second
calendar
that.
2.
I vote yes.
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 Proposed executive session to discuss the following personnel decisions in compliance with 25 OS 307B1. Number 1, employment of certified career classroom teachers for 2016-17 school year as attached. Employment of certified temporary classroom teachers for 16-17 school year as attached. Employment of Bo Westfall as driver's education teacher for summer 2016. Employment of 2015-16 and 16-17 summer maintenance staff as attached. Discuss contract of superintendent for 2016-17 school year. We have a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make
So moved.
that, I'll second Andy's
Rick,
motion.
how you-
Yes.
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 It is 7:56.
We return to open session. Andy, if you will read the executive session minutes compliance announcement.
Who's on the bottom?
I said it was 9:36. The Winoka Board of Education went into executive session May 2nd, 2016, at 7:56 p.m. as provided by Title 25 OS Section 307B1 of the Oklahoma State statutes to discuss the following: employment of certified career education classroom teachers for 2016-17 school year. See attached as 1. Employment of certified temporary classroom teachers for 2016-17 school year. See attached as 1. Employment of Bo Westfall as driver's ed teacher for summer 2016. Employment of 2015-16, 2016-17 summer maintenance staff. See attached as 2. Discuss contract for superintendent for 2016-17 school year. During executive session, the board discussed these items and no other items. The board returned to open session at 9:36 p.m. The members present during executive session were Zook, George, Ferguson, Blaylock, and Olson. Also present, Lauren Tackett, Superintendent, Michael Merriweather, Principal. The matter considered as provided by Title 25 OS Section 307B1 of Oklahoma statutes discuss the following: employment of certified career education classroom 16-17 school year. Employment of certified temporary classroom teachers for 16-17 school year. Employment of Bo Westfall driver's education teacher for summer 16. Employment of 15-16, 16-17 summer maintenance staff. And discussion of superintendents for 16-17 school year.
Number 15, vote to employ or not to employ the certified career classroom teachers for the 2016-17 school year. Mr. Tackett, what is your recommendation?
I make a recommendation that we hire all of the full-time teachers listed
And what about the part-time?
and also
The part-time,
language.
full hour, 4 hours?
yes, and and also the part-time teachers at 4 hours that are full-time, that are career teachers.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
I vote yes.
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 Vote to employ or not to employ the certified temporary classroom teachers for the 2016-17 school year. Mr. Tackett, what is your recommendation?
I make a recommendation that we hire Timothy Crisp, Renee Gaskell, Shannon Gosney, and Carly Williams as teachers for the 2016-17 school year, under temporary, under regular contract.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Rick, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. 17, vote to employ or not to employ Bo Westfall as the driver.
Okay, hang on.
Oh,
I also make a recommendation that we hire
Oh, the first year.
the first year teachers on a temporary contract, Lindsay Seaman, Megan Smith, Dustin Smith, and part-time Danielle Booty.
Okay, would you like to, who made the motion a while ago?
I mean,
Rick, would you like to amend your
I'll amend my motion to include those.
Who's second?
I'll second.
Okay. Rick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Vote to employ or not to employ Bo Westfall as the driver's education teacher for the summer 2016. Mr. Tackett, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is that we hire Mr. Westfall for our driver's ed teacher.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Clint, how do you vote?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Vote to employ or not to employ 2015-16 and 2016-17 summer maintenance staff. Mr. Tackett, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is hire Danny Green, Scott Kaiser, Dustin Smith, and Bo Westfall for summer maintenance staff for the 2015-16 and 2016-17 summer.
We have a motion.
I'll move.
Second. You want a second?
Second.
Don, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Vote on contract for superintendent for 2016-17 school year.
Make a motion.
Make a motion to table that.
Table that motion. Table that,
I'll second that.
not item 19.
Andy, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Mr. Tackett, is there any new business?
There's no new business.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second?
What time is it?
Second.
9:40.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Clint?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, who made the motion? I didn't catch any of that.
Andy made the motion.
Okay.
I seconded.
Okay.